My tenant broke the washing machine, and now they're refusing to pay rent until I replace it. It's been 4 weeks. Are they legally allowed to do that? In most cases, the answer is no, but there are some important details landlords need to understand. Under landlord-tenant law in the United States, tenants generally cannot withhold rent unless the landlord fails to maintain essential habitability conditions. Habitability usually includes things like running water, heat, electricity, structural safety, plumbing, safe living conditions. A washing machine is typically considered an amenity, not a habitability requirement. So, in most states, a broken washer does not legally justify withholding rent. But there's an important factor. You also have to look at the lease agreement. If the lease specifically states that the property includes a washer and dryer provided by the landlord, then you may have a contractual obligation to repair or replace it within a reasonable time. However, that still usually does not allow tenants to stop paying rent entirely. Courts generally treat those as separate obligations. The tenant must pay rent. The landlord must maintain promised appliances. Another important issue is who caused the damage. You mentioned the tenant accidentally broke the washing machine. If that's true, and the damage resulted from tenant misuse or negligence, the tenant may actually be responsible for repair costs, replacement costs, possible deduction from the security deposit. That depends on documentation, lease terms, proof of how the damage occurred. Practical steps for landlords. Here's how I would proceed professionally. Step 1. Document everything. Keep records of the broken appliance, repair estimates, and communication with the tenant. Step 2. Send a written notice. Explain that rent remains due under the lease and that withholding rent is not permitted. Step 3. Address the appliance issue. Schedule repair or replacement if the lease requires it. Step 4. If rent remains unpaid, follow your state's legal eviction or pay or quit notice process. Never attempt self-help actions like locking tenants out or shutting off utilities. One major mistake to avoid, while some landlords would ignore the repair completely because the tenant broke the appliance, that can backfire if the lease promises that appliance as part of the rental. Even if the tenant is responsible for the damage, you still want to address the repair promptly and handle reimbursement separately. Tenants generally can't stop paying rent because a washer breaks, especially if they cause the damage. But landlords should still handle repairs professionally and enforce the lease through proper legal procedures. If you were the landlord, would you pay? Comment below.